What's up guys, NASTYNATE Spear here, and today we're going to be training back down at my 40. Took a little hiatus there for a little bit. I was down at Nationals in Texas for a little bit of a trip, and now we're back, so we're going to get that YouTube rolling. Make sure you guys give us a like, share, subscribe, share on your Instagram stories too, let your friends know. Definitely helps get the word around, and it helps motivate me to keep pushing this content out. So today we're going to go through a back day with Andrew Barry, who's my coach, also an IFBB pro, also on a lot of podcasts and well known out there. So we should have a lot of good information out there for you today. And to give you a little rundown, pretty much our back training has changed a little bit. So I was a guy that always used a lot of barbells, dumbbells, T-bar rows, barbell rows, and I found that I've gotten to a place in my training where I want to improve my back in a different way. And also I was a little motivated by Hunter Labrada, seeing what he did to his back double bicep the last year, and that's pretty much exactly what I want to do. So I figured I would give more machines a try with like more mechanical, I guess, thought behind it. So now we're still pushing heavy weight, but just really trying to perfect the reps, get hard contractions on the back, and mostly everything we're doing is fixed now. Not much free weights this year. I'm the type of person that believes if I'm going to give something a shot, I'm going to give it like a whole off season and to really see if it works, and not just be like, because if you're not lean, it's really hard to say like if it's working or not. So for me, I believe that even if I'm giving this whole off season this type of training to my back, it's not necessarily going to like hinder me or make me go backwards. I might not progress as much, but I don't think it will hurt me, I guess is what I'm saying. All right, so let's get right into the training, and leave any comments. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you liked any of the tips or any stuff you want to see more, that kind of stuff. And yeah, let's go check it out. So we're starting out with one arm Nautilus pull down. Usually for back, I always start with like some kind of pull down, pull over, pull up, something that's gonna like helps elongate the back, stretch it out, loosen everything up. And also for me, I like hitting my lats first, because like if you do it towards the end, you're more fatigued, and it can be harder to like get that connection, get that pump. So I find like rows are better towards the end for me. So yeah, we'll start out with a couple lat exercises, and then we'll go on to some rows.
Yeah, I think another thing to add is like once you get that first contraction, like keep it contracted all the way up and down for the rest of the set. Like don't like overextend to where you're losing that contraction and you're almost overreaching and starting over again. Like once you get that first contraction, keep it locked in every single rep. another thing you might have noticed that we did, like Nate went and did his right arm, then I did my right arm, then he did his left arm, and I'm gonna do my left arm. The reason for that is that you wanna make sure each side gets the same opportunity being fully rested, because you know, when you do like one side, you're tapping some of your energy going into that other side. So it just makes a little bit of sense to give yourself, if you're training by yourself, give yourself a little bit of time before you do that other side, or if you have a partner, alternate which arm you're doing.
So we're doing a different variation of like a pull down. For us, we're trying to focus on the teres. So for me, this off season, really like what I was touching on about like the younger guys is like, you're trying to build that whole back. Now we're trying to build like pieces of it. So for me, that back double bicep, I really need some shape to it when I hit that back double to like pop. So the teres, if you can build that thicker, you're gonna get a little bit more shape that way. And then also a lot of upper back we're training this year, just to try to get that like upper shelf on the back to really get it to like spread and get more density and almost like roundness. Like you'll see some guys with like the traps and the rhomboids and like all that upper shelf is like sort of like round and full. So like that's sort of my goal this year, is to try to get some of that going.
What he said. Here. He's leaning back slightly. He's not too far upright. He's not too far back, right? Look at the angle of his elbows. He's not pulling straight down, which would target more lats. He's pulling straight back to get the teres right here. And the other thing he's doing is he's bringing his hands out as wide as he can while he's pulling down, or trying to maintain that width the whole way, not letting his hands come in like they want to, which would then transfer a lot of that weight to the bicep. You're gonna get a little bit of rear delt with this, which is fine because it's connected to the teres. And again, go and turn around. What we're trying to do is add that roundness right here. So add more to his lats, add more to the aesthetic of the pose. He's already got booming delts. You can see him through his shirt, booming delts and arms. Add a little bit more flow out here to tie into the waist. Doing that 10, 15 years ago, like it was nothing. I mean, not that it's wrong, nothing. No. That's just what you're supposed to do when you're a big dude.
Yeah.
You watched him, Sulek?
I haven't seen any of his videos, honestly.
Really?
But I mean, I don't dislike the guy. He's we all did that like when you're younger. It's just I'm more like shocked how popular he is, because like that's what we all did. We wore sweatpants and like Walmart clothes and like didn't wash for 2 days when we were like 20, like, and like worried about training and
you just didn't
eating
record
big.
it. You just didn't record it.
Yeah. That's like what we all did when we were younger, though. Honestly, like I never had like nice clothes and.
Back then it was like considered gross to like,
yeah,
you know,
right.
wear sweatpants
Right.
from Walmart and t-shirt from Walmart, you know, like, I don't know.
He's making it look cool.
Let's see what happens when he gets on stage. And that's not like a knock on him. I'm just saying, like, I'm sure he'll get more like through and through bodybuilders as he like gets on stage and starts dominating. He's got a sick physique though.
Yeah. His physique definitely is like why he gets views, you know? Like if he didn't have that physique, then
100%.
Nah, I respect the kid, he works hard, I mean.
I appreciate that.
One thing you want to notice is that, see where Nate has his hand? So by putting it lower on the platform here, on the handle, it's making it harder. Like you can make it easier by putting your hand all the way up top. He's doing it as hard as possible because he's creating a shorter lever arm. By making a longer lever arm, you can make the exercise easier. You see how he's dropped his shoulder a little bit. He's locked his lat in, he's driving his elbow down into his hip as much as he can, and he's getting his elbow back as far as he can. He's not doing any of this half rep jerky type stuff. He's getting that full range of motion back as far as you can. Similar to like when you're setting up for like a lat spread, pulling your elbows back as far as you can, so you can see that detail down here. That's what he's replicating right there.
On this, you should also feel like it almost cramps on that lower lat. That's when you know you're doing it right. You sort of crank on it, and that, like you were saying, that elbow going down is very important, like to your back waist almost. Like, so you want that elbow to come down all the way to like that waistline. So one thing too about like something like this exercise is like we could load up a lot of weight on here, and it might seem like a lot of weight, but we could even like do like 5 plates. But at some point you lose that connection on the lat, and you don't feel the connection or the contraction as hard. So you really want to sort of stop there, that happy medium. So really we won't do any more than like 3 to 3.5 plates aside. Yeah, we could do 4 or 5, but at some point you're gonna lose that connection, and you're gonna lose that elbow, that range of motion on that elbow path. So you just are getting shorter and shorter on that range of motion, which we don't want. So
Now he kind of wraps his shoulders forward to get that full stretch, and then as he pulls back, he drives his elbows back as far as he can, and he just kind of umps with his chest by retracting the shoulder blades. Gets the fullest possible stretch, fullest possible contraction here. This is kind of like a little fun like back and forth for us like over the years, because I'd always lead the workouts, you know, back then, and he'd see me do the hard set, whatever it was, like a triple drop set on leg press into lunges or whatever crap it was, and then he would have to do it afterwards. And part of the, you know, being the first guy is like you get to psych the other person out with like what you're doing because you're screaming, you're dying, right? And then he's like, fuck, it's gonna be that kind of effort, like going into this thing. So it's just kind of fun. And it's also, I also gotta say, it's real fun for me because I'm always used to like leading workouts, like usually every group I've been in, and it's fun having like a training partner who like knows what he's doing, who's built the physique, who has the mindset, where I'm like, dude, you pick what we're doing today. It's fucking perfect.
Yeah, now the beauty of it is that we can go back and forth, and like maybe one day he wants to lead, one day I'll lead, and sort of just go back and forth. We've been training together so long that we know, like we can sort of read each other's mind, like, oh, you want to do that? Yeah, I was thinking that too, you know, like. Come on. 2. Yep. Here we go.
It's a doozy.
Also too, like the important part of like body work is like to like break it down, like he's 6'2", probably 280 pounds, and his elbows are getting all the way back, whereas some guys can't do that because they're not doing body work. They're not getting work done, you know what I mean? Like there's guys that are like 60 pounds less than him that aren't even getting that back with the elbow path as far back as he is, you know what I mean? So for us, we found that over the years, the body work is gonna keep the joint and the muscle like mobile, right? So you can like move through those ranges of motion. Whereas like if you don't do that work, like your elbow path is gonna get shorter and shorter and your muscle growth is gonna get less and less, you know what I mean? So. Also, what you'll notice with our training is what we try to always incorporate is like when we warmed up with 2 plates, it looked about the same as what we did with 4 plates. 4 plates was extremely harder, but we want those reps to look exactly the same as the beginning reps, right? So, like we were talking about earlier, the elbow path, we want to keep the same range of motion, the same depth on that elbow drive as we did with the 2 plates. Same stretch, same tempo. So just because we add more plates, we don't want to speed up the reps. We don't want to just try to slam through. We don't want to lose our form. We want to keep all that stuff that we were doing on the 2 plates and the 3 plates. And when we get to the 4 plates, keep that same formula, right? Also, I want to give a shout out to HD Muscle and all the people that supported me. We had a really great sale for Black Friday last month. It was the best month I had with HD, and I really appreciate it for the people that do that, because it does help me as a bodybuilder and helps support me, helps me grow within HD. So I am thankful for all that. And if you guys want to keep on supporting and getting HD products, my code's NASTYNATE. Gets you 10% off, and it helps support me, honestly, and just sort of helps me keep up with this expensive lifestyle. So thanks again, guys. And
All right, so name of the game has been the rest of the workout is elbow path. If you notice, his elbows are coming down and then up like this. So he's really trying to squeeze his upper back right throughout here. What you notice is he kept the tension on the whole way. There was none of this slack, letting it just kind of hang there. He kept the tension on all the way up. Hard contraction, just like you're doing when you're coming back for like a rear lat spread.
I like this machine a lot because like it really hits the lower trap, where it's very hard on some stuff to get that, because the angle's coming down and up. It's gonna help hit that like mid trap, which on the back double bicep and the rear lat. The thicker those middle traps are, the better the shot's gonna be, you know?
Yeah, like he was saying, hitting the medial trap, hitting that whole upper back. When he gets those elbows all the way up, it's not just the muscles you're working that are contracting, because to do that motion, you're literally contracting your traps all the way down to your lower lat. So it's a really good exercise to kind of show that muscularity when you get on stage. It's kind of like one of those shots when an athlete gets on stage and before they hit their rear lat spread or their rear double bicep, where they drop their hands down and they pull their shoulder blades back to really show that Christmas tree and that crisp and that solid muscle development from like the lower back all the way up to the traps. This kind of sets that motion for you. So you see how right around that 8th, 9th rep I started to lose range of motion? To me, I'm just done. I could do partial reps, but I'd rather get this full range of motion. So this is like a little too heavy if I was trying to go like 10, 12, 13 reps on it. So I just got to 9 and cut it.
And I don't know if... You hear what this kid said?
So first thing you gotta see, notice how he's not rocking forward and backwards. He's keeping his plane of motion all the way through. He's letting his arms stretch to stretch out his scapula, stretch out his upper traps, his upper back. He's keeping his elbows high to work this shelf right here, getting his elbows back as far as he possibly can. But the big thing I think you see a lot of guys do is once the weight gets a little heavier, you start to see this rocking back and forth to get a little momentum to get the reps going. You know, a little bit of that's okay sometimes, but we're trying to stay everything nice and keep everything nice and strict, very precise. You can see the contraction right here. That's how it's done. So we're gonna finish off with some rear delts. We find this machine is really nice to be able to do the cross cables. You know, use your rear delts a lot in your back training, and it's a great way to finish up because the rear delt should be the last thing to leave a room.
Slow it up on me. Fast. Good. Good. So negative, slow. 5. Good. Keep moving. Keep moving. 6. Good. 7. Keep moving. 8. Good. Alright.
On these, you'll see that we definitely go higher in the reps. You know, we do like 4 or 5 sets of 20, 25 reps. I'm a big believer on just pounding the rear delts and the delt heads in general with a ton of blood. I think you need to use heavy weights for things like side laterals or the rear delt exercises. You'll see like 4 or 5 sets of 20, 25 reps here. Try to keep your hands far away from your body. A good cue on this one is try to keep your hands as far away from your body as possible. Like a lot of times you'll see people bending their arms when they're doing the exercise and they're engaging their triceps, they're engaging their traps. But if you keep your hands and you think, I'm gonna try to get these things as far away from me as possible, you're keeping it mostly on your rear deltoid, which is where you wanna keep the stimulus.
So yeah, that was our back workout today. So we have like 2 different back workouts. Like one might be a little bit more lat emphasis, one might be a little bit more rowing. But honestly, we're really just going by feel. As long as like we keep those principles that we were talking about in that video with the exercises we're doing, I find that we're gonna have a great workout.
What he said.
Really, it's all about like, it's not necessarily like the machines or the rows. Like for me on back especially, it's really about that hard contraction like we were talking about, getting those elbows back, you know, like contracting the lats, using the negative to your advantage, not going super fast, like really trying to feel every muscle you can in that back as you're training it, you know what I mean? Like I think a lot of people go wrong there. They're not really feeling it in the back. They're sort of just moving the weight, and then they don't really have a whole lot of back progress because of that.
Leave a like, comment, and do the back workout and tell us what you think, how you feel. Maybe leave another comment about what your favorite back exercise is and let us know.
Also, be sure to check out HG Muscle supplements. Just really good products, honestly. I'm not just like, I would use them if I wasn't sponsored by them either. They're just good quality. Share, it helps us out, helps grow the channel, and helps me motivate to like keep doing this. Yeah, that was a back day with me and Andrew, and hope you guys like it and keep following along.